Although this isn't the house that Jack built, university student Jack Lewin has been living at this property with his four other housemates for 2 years.
As soon as when we moved into the house. So we noticed that we didn't have any bins whatsoever. So the council sort of basically said the property was blacklisted because the previous tenants weren't using the bins correctly, maybe. But that isn't our fault. And meanwhile, we had like rubbish piling up in the house, which led to like mice. So we had pest control come in. But then again, they still didn't really do that much. They just told us to keep the house clean, which we did, and they put a few traps down, but as far as I'm aware, it really hasn't made any difference because the mice are still in the house. My room's like the worst room in the house, but there was a leak. It was leaking through my light. I couldn't really turn on my big light, until it got fixed. And then when they sorted it out, they didn't actually sort it out because like the next winter it happened again. I think the landlord has realised how bad the lettings agency was, because I feel like the landlord did an inspection of the house and saw all the things that were wrong with it. And we were like, yeah, we've reported all of these things. I think they've hired a new lettings agency now, which is a bit more prompt in their responses to things.
However, when I tried to find Jack's previous letting agency, which was called Friends Letting, it showed that the company was permanently closed. Whilst looking through student Facebook groups and posting statuses asking for any information on poor student housing, I had a few messages regarding a particular landlord in Fallowfield, Manchester. Unfortunately, the landlord didn't reply when I emailed him for an interview, but two ex-tenants of his were very keen to talk.
It was like a massive woodlouse infestation. We kept saying there's like woodlouse everywhere, and they were everywhere, weren't they? Like you couldn't walk around with no shoes on because you just step on them. And then like he gave us this like portable heater, and he's like, oh, just point it at them and they'll die. The washing machine didn't work like at all for like 5 weeks. We had to go to the laundrette, and you're just sending in messages like when you're coming to fix it, you're coming to fix it. And it was just like one excuse after another as to why you couldn't come and fix it.
We had mice, didn't we, throughout the year? And then he was basically blaming us because we kept the toaster out, and that like attracts the mice.
After living in their house in Fallowfield, Daniel and Emma moved out. They were then accused of owing £1,000 worth of damages to the property and accused of owing a whopping £3,000 worth of energy bills.
We had £1,600 threshold for the bills.
Yeah, we spent like 1,200 or something.
It was something like that. And then we proved to him that we were well under it because we got in contact with the energy company, and he just essentially refused to believe it.
After issuing the landlord with a court summons, they got their deposit back. But why do landlords and letting agencies treat students like this?
That the landlords maybe think that they get away with being a bit slack because they think, oh, it's just students, like they're young people, they can basically maybe like take advantage of it and sort of exploit student situations, because obviously a lot of students don't have that much money, and a lot of students are quite young and they haven't had like the world experience or the confidence to speak up for themselves.
Liz Grattan, Keys News.